Okay. I forgot where we're at, but we can just pick up something here.
Yeah.
What's the best parenting advice you ever received?
I don't remember what parenting.
So, do you remember?
It was on-the-job training.
Okay. Do you remember the births of all your children?
Yes, I do. I know Greg was born on a Saturday. I had to. One of the guys at work wanted me to help him do a survey, and couldn't because Greg came on a Saturday. And see, it was Columbus Day. David was born, so was Steve a year later, and John, we had to, in a hospital out in Golden Valley, we had to go out there because we had moved out here. We didn't have Mercy Hospital at that time.
So Golden Valley would have been the nearest hospital?
Well, we were members of Group Health at that time, and that was one that we could go to.
Okay. And Golden Valley is 15 miles away?
Right. And I think you were born out there too, Golden Valley.
Yep. What advice would you give to a new parent?
Enjoy them while you can because they grow up so fast.
Was there a happiest time raising kids? Sure, there's probably many, but
Many
is there one that
happy
sticks
times.
out?
Yeah, many happy times. I enjoyed camping, going on camping trips with the kids. We had a lot of fun. You know, I remember Itasca State Park. We used to go up there quite a bit. And I remember all the raccoons that would come around the campsites every night.
I remember
You didn't dare leave anything out on the picnic table. The raccoons would get it.
I remember a big turtle.
Oh, there's a lot of turtles in that lake.
What was the saddest or hardest raising kids?
I don't really remember too many sad times.
Well, that's good. What would you have done differently, if anything?
Probably got a degree first before I got married.
So a degree, so you would have had a better paying job?
Yeah. Well, we struggled, you know. Working for the highway department, we even struggled. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about faith. What are your beliefs about God?
Well, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, naturally. I don't think you have to be a member of a certain religion in order to believe in Christ.
And what role has that played in your life?
Well, it's kind of like moral character, you know. It's kind of guided me throughout my life. My mother was Catholic. I know at that time I didn't understand the Mass because it was in Latin, and the kneelers were very hard wood, oak, probably kneelers, and it was tough on the knees for a little kid.
Sure.
And after my mother died, and went to live with my stepmother while Dad was in the Army, and I went to the Baptist church in Brainerd, and Temple Baptist it was called. The pastor there was a very good man, and he and his wife did not have any children, so the children of the parish met at his house every once in a while for cookies and a sing-along because she loved to play the piano, and we sang hymns for hours. That was a lot of fun. And then we went to Pine River. We moved up there, and I went to the Methodist church there, and almost every Sunday, and even was an usher that's church. And then when I came down to the university, we went to a lot of different churches around town. Students were the Presbyterian church. I know they treated us very nice. They were welcoming us kids. I mean our students.
Mm-hmm.
But then started going. Took instructions again from St. Lawrence, and I kind of like that. Because reading the Bible, you know, they were talking about the Lord's. He broke the bread and said, "Do this in memory of me."
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was more than like the other churches had communion maybe once a year, and then here we have it every Mass.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Not really. Not
Okay.
a favorite. I always remember John 3:16. That was
That's because you like to watch football.
yeah. Well, no, that isn't because they show it all the time.
Okay. There's your clock.
Yeah.
So, looking at significant events in your life, you look back at, are there certain events that, big events, like maybe possibly Kennedy's assassination?
Oh, I remember that. That was we were all of a sudden we heard he'd been shot, and then work stopped completely. Everyone was right via radio listening to, hoping that he hadn't really been mortally wounded, but he had been. And I know my dad said at that time that he didn't want to celebrate his birthday anymore because it came on Kennedy's assassination date. That was very sad.
Okay. Were there I mean, the war obviously would have been
Yeah.
another when you were younger.
Yeah, I remember that when President Roosevelt died, people in the streets of Brainerd were openly crying. That's the first time I ever saw grown-ups cry.
Hmm. Are there other events that have, shaped your life or defined?
Well, I was lucky enough to take part in this SPAR program at the highway department. They needed surveyors and they couldn't hire them in the quantity they needed, so Jess Fant started the SPAR school for us, and we trained 44 of us that had at least 2 years of college, and we went 2 years from 71 to 73 to we'd meet once a month for a week. We'd start about 8 o'clock in the morning, usually get home around 10 at night. That was a really intense program.
That was what program?
SPAR.
SPAR.
It's surveying courses. And actually we had professors from the university were teaching geodesy and English and stuff we'd already had, most of us. And I actually got the chance to teach a course during that on tree identification. Use my forestry school background.
Okay.
Because just didn't have anybody that would fill in for that. And that was, Jess had gotten a federal grant to study the needs of the highway department, and he determined that they needed better equipment and more surveyors, because they had paid the wrong owners a lot of times, because the engineers did not know where the land corners were.
Okay.
I know there was one out here where there was over $1 million paid to the wrong owner.
That's definitely a problem.
That's definitely a problem.
I know when you were younger you had rheumatic fever. Is there any
Yes,
other?
when I was 9, I had rheumatic fever.
Are there other serious illnesses or injuries that you?
During the spar school, I was checking the oil in my truck, and the guy in front of me backed up and knocked my truck back another good 3 feet, and I got a very bruised left knee from that. It was about twice the size of my right one, and all black and blue. He took me to the group health. They had it checked out. They didn't find anything broken, so I was back on the job. Only spent 3 hours. It was tough, because I think the working outdoors in the wintertime kind of helped a lot to get my knee back in shape again.
So obviously, older, you've had some complications.
I had to have that knee replaced. But when I had heart problems, back in Florida, I had to have a pacemaker put in. That was in, it's been about 6 years ago.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies or interests?
Oh,
I'm not interested in anything.
I'm interested in a lot of things. I sure enjoy the History Channel and Discovery Channel, because they've got so much interesting stuff on the universe, and even watch the Military Channel once in a while just to see the new innovations in our military. Yeah, that's my 2 years were. I think everyone should have had a little military training. I didn't. I don't think that at the time of World War II, there was a lot of people that were drafted into the military, and we had one case in Brainerd. The guy had 9 children, and he was drafted, and within 30 days he was sent overseas and was killed. You don't get much training in 30 days.
No.
I think they should have mandatory 2-year service to your country.
Are you or were you artistic? Play any instruments?
I had fairly talent for drawing.
Do you do any drawing?
Not now, no. But I've got a grandson who's got a musical talent. Justin, he plays the saxophone. He's made the All-State band 2 years in a row.
All right.
Love to go to his concerts.
Okay. Which are quite often.
Yes, I think I got one coming up this week.
Do you enjoy movies?
Once in a while, but not especially. I like to watch something different. I like some of the TV programs. It seems like every time I get attached to one program, then they discontinue it. So I don't get too attached to it.
So what? Do you have a favorite movie that you?
Oh, I remember Shane. That was a classic.
Okay.
And of course, The Sound of Music. I loved that. And I remember the Bambi movie when I was a kid. And I also liked those Henry Aldrich movies when I was a kid. And when I was a senior in high school, I got a chance to be in the senior class playing as Henry Aldrich. So, and there for a while, I'd go around town, and the little kids would poke their mom, Mom, look, there's Henry. They didn't know me by my name, but they knew me as Henry.
So, television programs, what's your favorite television program?
I like to watch NCIS and the cop show on Fridays that is it NY Blue or something like that it's called.
I think you just watched it.
Yeah, last night. I don't remember what Tom Selleck's in it. I think he plays a pretty good part.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Blue Brothers or something like that. Band, no.
Band of Blue or something like that. I'm not sure what it is. It's about the New York Police Department.
Okay. Do you like to read?
Oh, yes.
And do you have favorite books?
Well, the Bible's always there. I've read a few books that but most of them I don't. There's fiction is I don't know. I like to read articles on various things, but I'm not a fiction buff.
You read the paper though.
Oh yeah, work the crossword puzzle
Every day.
most of the days. Yeah.
What about politics? Do you vote regularly?
Oh, I vote regularly, right?
And obviously that's important to you then.
Well, yeah, you gotta do your part, and that's part of the American way is to vote.
And you're registered as a Democrat, Republican,
And I'm not registered as a Democrat or Republican, no.
independent, or not?
I'm more independent. I kind of like to find out about the candidates before I vote for them.
Do you do much traveling?
Not anymore. We used to go down to Florida with my wife when she was still living.
What's Florida your favorite place to go?
In the wintertime, yeah. We went down there for about 2 months every winter for about 10, 12 years. That was enjoyable. A lot of good places to eat and fairly reasonable. And used to walk the beach every day for about 5 miles a day. That was kind of fun. Watch the dolphins.
So what was your favorite place that you ever been to? Travel-wise, what?
Or travel-wise? Oh, we used to like the beach down at well, it was St. Petersburg there, the beach there where we watch them fish, and we could fish from the pier if you wanted to, but it's a little different fishing than Minnesota. You never know what you're going to catch. And it's a lot different down there. I did get a chance to go out deep sea fishing a couple times. We caught grouper. They're just like a big bass. And some of those, I caught one that must have gone close to 30 pounds. That was a lot of fun.
Okay. If you could live your life over again, what would you do differently?
Like I said, get my education out of the way before I got married. That would probably be the only thing.
Okay. Well, here's another tough question. What would you like future generations to know about you?
I don't know.
Huh?
I did a lot of work for Boy Scouts, and I suppose I'll probably be remembered for a little bit of that. And in the surveying community, I was pretty well known. That's enough for me. I don't want to get into politics. That's it's terrible, I think, really. Used to be they didn't bother with your family life, but nowadays they tear down everything, you know. And some of the quality of some of the candidates is, I don't know, it's terrible. Becky's father was in politics. He was a member of the state legislature. He wanted me to go into politics, but no, I didn't want to. I never could. I could hack it, you know.
All right. Well, I don't have any more questions. I'm sure I have some, but
Yeah.
And anything else you'd like to add or say or?
Well, the reason I was involved in Boy Scouts for so long, I met so many nice people. And, it's nice to see these kids growing up, and you see a kid coming in as a little kid that doesn't know too much, and to see him get his eagle is really nice. It's heartwarming to see that. And I enjoy being part of the OA for these many years. And I did attain the Silver Beaver, which is scouting's highest honor.
Okay.
And I remember Father Reiser writing a letter for me. I didn't know it at the time, but back in 1990 I was awarded the Silver Beaver, but it meant just about as much to me as being a visual member of the Order of the Arrow. That meant a lot to me too.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's about it, I guess.
All right. Well, if I come up with more questions, I'll have to.
I'll have another
cool.
interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah.